Plays Netflix Tatum.
Yeah.
Okay, you know that one instantly? How about this? Plays Intel Jingle. It's wild, right? How certain sounds just like lock into your brain.
Yeah, yeah.
Today on the Deep Dive, we're really digging into something you might not consciously notice. The incredible power of sonic branding. It's all about how companies use sound, strategically to build these really strong, memorable connections, influencing us maybe without us even clocking it.
Yeah, exactly. And our mission for you today is to sort of unpack the science here. Why is sound so effective? We'll break down some really iconic examples you probably know
Yeah.
and help you understand how these like invisible assets, these sounds are actually designed to work on us emotionally.
Invisible assets, I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get into it. Why is sound so potent? What gives it that special edge for memory and recognition?
Well, the thing is, sound kind of takes a shortcut in the brain. It bypasses a lot of our rational thinking. It goes straight to the limbic system, which is basically the brain's emotional center. And neurologically, it travels faster than visual information.
Faster than visuals.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And there's this neuroscientist, Dr. Daniel Levitin. He explains it really well. He says musical patterns get stored in our procedural memory.
Okay, procedural.
Yeah.
That's like riding a bike, right? Stuff you just do.
Exactly that. Skills, habits. Which means, we can recall these sound patterns super accurately, even years later, maybe after just hearing them a few times. It's a massive opportunity for brands, really.
So if it hits us emotionally faster, bypassing the rational stuff, does that mean just a couple of notes can create this instant, almost unconscious bond? And how do companies really use that?
Oh, absolutely. Think about Intel, that little four-note melody.
The DGDA, yeah.
Right, and then that whispered Intel inside.
Mhm.
Our sources suggest that signature sound. It's valued at over like $200 million in brand value alone.
$200 million for just a few notes. That's staggering.
It really is. It triggers immediate recognition, sure, but also this sort of feeling, maybe reliability or something like that.
That just shows the impact, doesn't it? A few seconds. And speaking of short sounds, what about the Netflix Ted-dum? You hear that everywhere.
The TED. That's a masterclass in sound design, and it's only about 2.5 seconds long. Todd Yellin, he commissioned Lon Bender, a sound designer, and the brief was basically capture the tension of an entertainment moment.
Tension. Interesting.
Yeah, it's short. It's totally distinctive. Apparently, they even used organic sounds, like someone knocking a wedding ring.
No way.
Yeah, and it manages to combine that feeling of anticipation with, like, satisfaction. It's almost become this Pavlovian cue, You hear it, you relax, you're ready to watch something.
Okay, so we've got these super short sonic logos, but what about something more like a tune, a jingle, like McDonald's?
Yeah.
Everyone knows that one all over the world. How does that work on us differently?
Right, the McDonald's jingle. Launched back in 2003 with Justin Timberlake, actually. Its power is really in its simplicity, just 5 notes. And it's incredibly adaptable across different cultures, different languages.
Yeah, you hear it sung in all sorts of ways.
Exactly. And neuroscience tells us that when you hear it repeatedly, it actually lights up the reward pathways in your brain. Plus, it strengthens the neural links to the visual stuff, like seeing the golden arches.
Ah, so the sound reinforces the image and maybe even the thought of the food.
Precisely. It's what they call a cross-modal experience. Sound, sight, maybe even taste expectation, all working together for a stronger brand feel.
So beyond jingles and logos, sometimes the sound is actually part of the product itself, isn't it? Like BMW cars. You can often tell it's a BMW just by the engine sound.
Yes, absolutely. BMW actually employs acoustic engineers. Their whole job is tuning engine sounds, exhaust notes. It's about signaling status, performance feedback. It's part of the driving experience they sell.
So what happens with electric cars then? They're quiet.
Right. So faced with that, they actually hired Hans Zimmer, the film composer.
The Hans Zimmer?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yep. To create an artificial driving sound for their EVs. The goal was to maintain the brand's acoustic DNA, as they put it. It's all about creating this unified, multi-sensory brand experience. The sound is integral.
Wow. Okay, and it's not just cars or tech. Even going to the movies. That THX deep note, that sound is intense, always gives me chills.
Ah, the chills. That's actually a known phenomenon. Psychologists call it frisson, those sort of pleasurable shivers. And the THX deep note, which was created by Dr. James Moore, is deliberately engineered for that. It's this 30-second crescendo that builds and builds. It's designed to evoke power, anticipation, maybe even a bit of awe.
How does it do that?
Well, It moves from this complex, dissonant sound to a final, powerful harmony. It's basically establishing sonic superiority, like, get ready for amazing sound.
Mhm.
And it literally physically prepares the audience, gets them focused for the movie.
Okay, so we've heard all these amazing examples, Intel, Netflix, BMW, THX. What does it actually take for a brand to nail this, to create a
Yeah.
sonic identity that sticks and works so well? What's the blueprint?
Well, there are several really key things they have to consider. First off, alignment. Does the sound actually fit the brand's core personality? Think Harley-Davidson's Rumble versus, say, Apple's Clean Chime. Very different personalities, very different sounds.
Right, makes sense. What else?
Memorability is huge. It needs to be distinctive. Often having a really clear beginning and end helps, like the old NBC chime. Then there's versatility. Can the sound work everywhere? On TV, radio, online, maybe even as a notification sound?
Like MasterCard. I think I've heard theirs when paying for things.
Exactly. Their sonic logo works as a payment confirmation sound, and in their ads, that's great versatility. You also need to think about cultural sensitivity, making sure it translates well, and plan for the long term, how it'll evolve, and maybe the most critical part, consistent implementation, using it everywhere, all the time. If you don't, it just won't stick. Or worse, it could even confuse people.
Consistency is key. Got it. So with all that strategy, all that effort, what's the payoff for these brands? What's the actual, return on investment for getting the sound right?
Oh, the research is pretty compelling. Brands that have a distinct sonic identity, they show something like 96% higher brand recall compared to those without.
96%, that's huge.
It really is. And it's not just recall. Consistent use of sonic branding has also been shown to boost customer trust by around 23%, and willingness to recommend the brand by nearly 29%. There was a marketer from MasterCard who said they've basically created an invisible logo with their sound, and that it's actually becoming potentially more recognizable than their visual logo.
Wow, an invisible logo.
Yeah. So, in this world where we're just bombarded with information constantly, how a brand sounds, well, it might end up mattering even more than what it actually says.
Okay, so you've just had a deep dive into this really profound, often hidden power of sound all around us.
And that really brings up an important question for you to think about. The next time you encounter a brand, out in the world, or maybe just hear a distinctive sound, stop and think.
Yeah,
What emotion does it actually trigger for you?
yeah. Pay attention to those sounds, those sonic cues. You might actually be surprised just how deeply they've already woven themselves into your memory, your perceptions, shaping your world maybe without you even realizing it.